Hello and welcome back, artists and designers. We are in the second video here approaching our digital still life painting. So the next steps are really up to you. I'm just going to go through a quick review of a couple methods for approaching this. So I have my canvas set up here. I've got my reference image over here. I've got my painting over here. I have my sketch to get me started. And I have a new layer and a base fill of gray just to kind of have a background that's not pure white. So on this first layer here, you could go in here with a soft edge brush and start to you could just start shading and go to town on it if you want. I would prefer with a hard edged object like this, I would prefer to kind of define the edges of my primary subject first with a base value and then create layers over top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab my hard edged brush here and hard elliptical brush. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure I crank the flow up on that, and I think I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead, and I don't want to use black, so I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to switch that over to white, because this has a white base tone, and then I think I'll do my shading on top of that. So I'm going to work my way through here on this new layer, and I'm going to, I'm going to bring up my smoothing just a little bit to help me kind of correct the unsteadiness of my hand. And I know this is not going to be perfect, but again, part of digital painting is, kind of making sure that you allow some of your creative personal touches to show through. So I'm going to define this whole shape of the picture here. So I'm going to work my way through this, and I'll go ahead and pause the video and come back in a second so you can see how I'm doing it. Okay, we're back here, and I went ahead and kind of finished that picture off so you can see there's my base tone, and if I look, I know that a couple areas didn't get 100% filled in, so if I hide that sketch, I can kind of see. But again, that's something I can always come back and fix, and having a little bit of a soft edge, I think, is not the worst thing in the world. So it's okay if some things are a little bit off here and there. Okay, so once I have that and I have my base created for my picture, at this point, now I could go and do that for each one, and I might make that on separate layers. Like I might call this picture if I want to be exacting about it. Maybe you don't. You want to just kind of, do it a little bit more freeform. It's really up to you, but I'm going to go ahead and make a new layer above this. I'm going to hold down the Alt key, and I'm going to clip that. So we're going to clip that in so that now, when I start working on this layer, and maybe I want to use my hard shader again, and this time I'm going to switch over to maybe a black, or I'm going to color pick from here and get like a dark gray value. Maybe I don't want to be all the way to the black end of the spectrum with it. And I'm going to start to kind of work on this clipping mask. So I'm going to start to kind of brush this shading down here, and I can always come back and clean up these edges a little bit, or fade this out. Like if I get down here and then I go, okay, I want to soften this up a little bit, bring it in pretty heavy right here, and then maybe I'm going to switch back over to my eraser, and oops, I don't know if this is a soft eraser. Yeah, it is. So let's grab that soft eraser and make that a little bit larger, soften that up. I can soften this edge up a little bit if I want, or go, okay, I need to brighten up this area a little bit right here. Let's check, hide this, see how this is looking. So that's looking okay. It's going to take some time. So there's no, short way around it. It's going to take some time for you to build that up and kind of get it looking the way that you want. So you're going to have to zoom in, zoom out. You have a physical copy of the picture. So you can always use that physical copy, maybe more so than the digital. The digital is here just so that you can kind of color pick and work from it a bit. But yeah, experiment with the soft and hard edge brushes. And if you're working on that clipping mask layer, it becomes really easy to make those corrections and adjustments as you go. All right, I think I'm going to keep it like nice and short here and leave you guys at this step. So make your base coat layer if you would like. Do your soft and hard edge brushes. Clipping mask, you can always merge things down whenever you want. You can create more clipping mask layers above. If you want to have separate areas that you work on that you can erase and adjust accordingly, but you have to kind of find your own way of doing this. Whether you use 1 layer, 2 layers, 20 layers, that part is really up to you. So experiment, have some fun, focus on your values, look at the soft and hard edge brushes, and don't be afraid to use some texture as well. I know right now we're really sticking with the airbrushy look, but you know, that's just one method of shading, so I hope that you explore some other things that you can do, maybe with a few of those other brushes that I provided for you. All right, good luck, and I look forward to seeing what you create in this project.